On this basis, we are constructing nuclear power plants in Egypt, Bangladesh, and Turkey. And we intend to deepen cooperation in the nuclear sector with countries of the global south through BRICS. By the year 2050, the capacity of the world's nuclear power plants will almost double. In Russia, over the next 15 years, more than 29 gigawatts of nuclear power plant capacity is planned to be introduced, including small nuclear power plants and small nuclear power plants.
But here, Russia is truly an absolute leader, but no dependence on anyone. Everything done in the nuclear field is done in Russia. Absolutely the same will happen in all types of the energy sector and in oil and gas equipment as well. Another of our high-tech leaders, Rosatom, also has solid experience. It holds about 90% of the global market for nuclear power plant construction. About 90%. Worldwide, 110 power units of domestic Russian design have been built. Russia is the only country in the world with expertise across the entire nuclear energy chain. And when building abroad, we are not just constructing facilities, but together with partners, we are creating the future of the energy sector and related industries, forming a solid national, personnel, scientific, and technological development base for an entire country. On this basis, we are constructing nuclear power plants in Egypt, Bangladesh, and Turkey. And we intend to deepen cooperation in the nuclear sector with countries of the global south through BRICS. By the year 2050, the capacity of the world's nuclear power plants will almost double. In Russia, over the next 15 years, more than 29 gigawatts of nuclear power plant capacity is planned to be introduced, including small nuclear power plants and small nuclear power plants. No one else is building them yet. Yes, there are plans, but in reality, nothing is happening in the world. Only we are doing this.
Nuclear generation will appear in our Far East and in Siberia.
I would like to note that nuclear energy is assigned an important role in supplying consumers, whose role is expected to increase significantly in the future. I mean, electric transport, of course, the same one I mentioned, industrial robots, automated systems in the service sector. The growing demand for electricity is driven by the digital economy, including artificial intelligence tools, blockchain, data storage, and processing facilities. According to some estimates, the energy consumption of data centers worldwide is already comparable to that of the entire heavy industry. It is clear that the directions I just mentioned are a powerful factor for development. They largely determine the global competitiveness of countries, the efficiency of national economies, and the quality of life for people. This means our plans for developing the domestic fuel and energy complex must take all these trends into account. We are trying to do just that. I also propose to focus on supplying the digital economy, data centers, local generation facilities, stations where resources are used, which specialists call trapped. That is, they are far and expensive to transport, which means it is more efficient to use it at the extraction site. And I asked the government to present proposals for organizing such a model, including I asked to explore the use of advanced clean coal generation to meet the needs of digital infrastructure, storage centers, and data processing, and so on. We saw how the same elites of Western countries suddenly refused to service equipment for the energy sector supplied to Russia. They officially declared that they would not fulfill their obligations.
But they only showed once again that they are unreliable partners.
And their actions are directly related to the political situation, and sometimes this political situation is used for unfair competition. And it is clear that commercial entities were forced to act this way, to be honest. I mean, Western commercial entities. They were forced to act this way under the pressure of their ruling political elites. But the fact remains,
Western equipment technologies for the fuel and energy sector can become unavailable at any moment for geopolitical reasons. Unavailable not only for Russia, but also for any other energy resource supplier whom someone in the West considers an inconvenient competitor or simply an uncooperative country.
And we must take all this into account. These are the realities of today. But I think everyone already understands this perfectly.
And that means we need to actively change the status of the countries, producers, from bias of equipment to the status of technological leadership, to the status of technological leaders to form at the national level a full-fledged energy sovereignty from the extraction and processing of resources to the transportation of finished products. The main market was our primary, one of the main, not the primary, but one of the main ones, where they sold their high-tech products. They were forced to give it up. Their production becomes unprofitable, they are reducing their workforce, and they start losing technologies. And our specialists are expanding and becoming technological leaders because the domestic market allows for production at a good, profitable level. And partners are emerging worldwide who are now purchasing this equipment from Russian companies.
Yesterday they bought in Europe, and today more and more from us. And this process will continue to develop further.
What did they do? It's like buying a ticket and not going just to spite the conductor. It's nonsense. You understand? Ridiculous. But these are the realities of today's existence. We are increasing the production of extraction equipment and field chemicals, implementing our own technological solutions in servicing fields and infrastructure.
If previously much of what I just listed was done by foreign organizations, as I just mentioned, now more and more of it is being handled by our specialists, Russian specialists.
Russia possesses enormous engineering potential and significant scientific and practical groundwork in technologies that, as they say, have stood the test of time and proven their effectiveness in harsh natural and climatic conditions. We have the competencies, experience, and developments to advance even in challenging energy sectors to extract hard-to-recover reserves, which is especially relevant for the oil industry. And we will do this not only independently, but also together with friendly countries that fully understand the geopolitical risks.
Russia offers comprehensive technological cooperation for energy countries, which is not dependent on sanctions and external pressure. A true partnership based on exchange of knowledge, experience, creation of industrial alliances. Moreover, the results of such a partnership should benefit everyone involved in this work.
Well, you know, regarding the equipment, I was just talking about nuclear energy. But here, Russia is truly an absolute leader, but no dependence on anyone.
Everything done in the nuclear field is done in Russia. Absolutely the same will happen in all types of the energy sector and in oil and gas equipment as well.
Russia intends to strengthen its position as a global energy leader, develop partnerships to build a fair and sustainable model of global energy in the interests of future generations.
Teka nešto you share very much hope that the Russian Energy Week will make a significant contribution to this joint effort of ours. I wish the participants and guests of the forum success and all the best. I'm sure that many useful meetings, conversations, and discussions have already taken place.
And if this is the case, then we are very glad. And it means that the goal for which we invite you to Russia is being achieved. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.